Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Yeah, I am here. Even though the debate almost killed me last night. It took everything in me to watch 2 minutes of it. Just 2 minutes. And then, but it was 2 hours. So it was really hard the rest of the time.
And I love how at the end, wasn't it, what's her name, Nora
O'Donnell?
Nora O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, we're done, right? We're done. And then Gayle King's like, nah, we got time. We're going to come back. Yeah, because she wrapped it up right at 9 o'clock Central Time.
Uh-huh.
And she said, no, we have time for one more. We'll come back with that. And I'm like, no, we're not. Good night.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No.
I've had all I can take. I can't take any more. They lost complete control of it last night.
Oh.
Wow, they were terrible. So, maybe there should have been somebody other than Nora O'Donnell and Gayle King there to corral these people into, I don't know, some semblance of order. It's just, it was a cluster thing. Mm-hmm. And so, just an absolute mess with everybody talking over. What are you raising your hand for? And then you're just babbling over each other, yelling and screaming over each other for 2 hours.
That was tough. And poor Joe Biden's like, what, do you just jump in? Is that what you're just supposed to do? Jump in so I can talk? Yeah.
He was so frustrated because nobody cares anymore what he has to say. And he can't say it is the problem. Wow. Whatever he wants to say, he can't say it. I don't even know what he's trying to say half the time.
I don't know. But that was a
rough. It was a rough night, I think, for Joe.
Yeah, it
was rough for all of
America.
them. Yes, that's it. Yes, the big loser was the United States of America last night. How did they let it get to this point where, I'm defending Cuba, but so did Barack Obama, right? And he was a Marxist too, just like you are. Yeah, of course, Barack Obama defended Cuba. Yes, he said good things about them, about their education and their health care. I think he might have agreed with Michael Moore that their health care is better than ours. So, yeah, Barack Obama sucked as well. And he had the same kind of issues with America that Bernie Sanders does. Bernie Sanders is what a despicable human being he is. He's absolutely despicable.
Yeah.
He wants to be president of a country he can barely stand. Listen to what he says about Cuba, the Soviet Union, China, dictatorships all over the world, and then listen to how he talks about the United States of America. It's truly unbelievable. Let's just start there. Let's start with Bernie being called out, a little bit, for defending Cuba and their education system.
I was really amazed at what Mayor Bloomberg just said a moment ago. He said that the Chinese government is responsive to the Politburo. But who the hell is the Politburo responsive to? Who elects the Politburo?
The Politburo is responsible to nobody. They're not responsible to anybody. The Communist Party in the Soviet Union just twisted people's arms. They weren't real elections. What are you talking? Who elected the Politburo? Nobody. Like the elitists, the premier of Russia, of the Soviet Union, elected the Politburo. The people, they pretended that there were elections. Who elected the
real dictatorship there? Of course you have a dictatorship in Cuba. Uh-huh. What I said is what Barack Obama said in terms of Cuba. That Cuba made progress on education.
So that's like the Hitler built the Autobahn. Hitler started Volkswagen. Right. Yeah, and Fidel did some educational programs. Okay. Wow, that's great. That's really great.
I think Really?
I love how he challenges the audience.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, we're taking issue with you praising Cuba? Yes. Really? What are you talking about? And he can't believe it.
Because there's no comparing those two
What Barack Obama said is they made great progress on education and health care. That was Barack Obama.
I talked to Barack Obama.
occasionally it might be a good idea to be honest about American foreign policy. And that includes the fact that America has overthrown governments all over the world, in Chile, in Guatemala, in Iran. And when dictatorships, whether it is the Chinese or the Cubans, do something good, you acknowledge that.
Isn't it interesting how you acknowledge what the Cubans and the Chinese and the Soviets are doing that's good, but not the United States? What is he saying about the United States? He's talking about the governments we've overthrown and how terrible we are.
Wow.
This guy shows his enmity for this country every time he opens his commie mouth. Every time. Yeah, okay, you're gonna cite all the good things about communist dictatorships, and then you're gonna cite all the bad things about the country in which you live. It's just unbelievable. This could be their guy.
Why doesn't he run for president of Cuba then?
Right, exactly.
You love it so much.
Exactly. Go there. Move.
And what
But you don't
yeah, go ahead.
have trade love letters
This is
with them.
President
Biden,
Biden.
Unreal.
Mr. Vice President.
Reliving the Cold War. Barack Obama was abroad. He was in a town.
Wait, Barack Obama was abroad? I didn't realize that.
Whoa.
Is that new information we're getting from
Well, I mean, it is 2020.
Barack Obama is abroad?
He's abroad. Hey,
No,
look,
he was abroad. Has he switched?
Gotcha.
Has he transitioned?
Not judging. I gotcha.
Meeting. He did not in any way suggest that there was anything positive about the Cuban government. He acknowledged that they did increase
Yes, he
life
did.
expectancy, but he went on and condemned the dictatorship. He went on and condemned the people who, in fact, had run that committee. He also made sure to make it clear. And by the way, I called to make sure that I was prepared to. I never
What?
say my private conversation with him. But the fact of the matter is, he in fact.
No,
What did
no,
he
no,
just-
dude.
what did he
Nobody
just
knows.
say there?
Nobody knows.
I think what he's trying to say is, and by the way, I called Barack Obama to make sure I could say this. Is that what he was saying? I don't know. So, it's indecipherable.
Did not, has never embraced an authoritarian regime and does
that's
not
bull
now.
crap.
This man said that, in fact, he did not condemn what
That
they
is
did.
untrue, categorically untrue.
What did you tell him?
I have
Categorically
condemned the
untrue.
in Saudi Arabia that the
there
United
we go,
States
yeah.
government
How about
has
Cuba,
loved
Nicaragua?
for years. Cuba, Nicaragua. Authoritarianism
Wow.
of any stripe is bad.
Stripe.
But
Period.
that is different than saying that governments occasionally do things that are good. Look,
Wow, jeez.
But those two guys, man, I love they were standing next to each other because, as I stated on Twitter, they were like two old guys sitting in the sunroom arguing at the nursing home. That's what it was. All night, those two.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of there's no love lost between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. They're not going to be hanging out afterwards, having a few brewskis. I don't think they like each other much, and I don't like either one of them. I don't like any 7 of those up on stage.
Boy, that was rough.
I mean, what a terrible thing for America that these are the people that they're putting up against that could actually win the presidency.
Yeah, Democrats, you had a
just
chance.
Really unbelievable.
You had a chance for Andrew Yang or even Tulsi Gabbard, and could have used their presence last night. Some adults in the room.
I mean, you see what we're in for. If any of them are elected, we're in for catastrophe, absolute catastrophe. We can't allow it to happen. We've got to activate everybody we know, and I hope that the enthusiasm remains high for Trump, even if the stock market keeps coming down because of this crazy coronavirus. It's not even here. It's not even existent, really, in the United States. I mean, they talk about it's contained. We don't even have it. Like 53 people. Do you know how many people there are in this country? 330 million. 53 people have it, and none of them got it here. Well, except for the husband of the wife that came back from China in Chicago. Okay? 330 million people, and one of them got it here from his wife, who just got back from China. So essentially, nothing's started here. Nothing's spreading here. It's coming from elsewhere.
Yeah, it doesn't stop San Francisco from declaring a state of emergency.
They don't even have it in the city, and they've declared an emergency. How do you have an emergency without the disease.
That's even what the mayor said. He's like, yeah, look, I mean, maybe we don't have it yet, but
we're going to declare an emergency anyway
and stuff.
Being prepared is different than declaring an emergency situation.
But in fairness, doesn't the city of San Francisco stay in a perpetual state of emergency? I mean, that town.
Well,
let's be honest.
They have an emergency poop situation on the streets right now.
Right.
Maybe that's the emergency they should be dealing with, because that's more likely to spread disease than the COVID virus that isn't there. Nobody has it in the city, and it's an emergency. It's crazy. This is just crazy, and it's driving down the stock market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's nuts. And if the stock market crashes and the economy tanks before this election, you're going to have Bernie Sanders as president of the United States.
That's the fear now, especially with Trump saying, yeah, everything's fine. We got it under control. Well, if it's not, if it becomes a big problem, it's going to be a big problem for him.
And there's kind of a problem right now, unless we get a grip on this thing. The stock market went down 1,000 points on Monday, and then 900 points yesterday. It's down 1,900 points in 2 days. Yeah. And it's because of the coronavirus that we don't even have really here. Amazing. I mean, 36 of the people in this country with the virus came from that one ship that they were trapped on. And then they brought them here and quarantined them. So nobody else is in danger from them. We literally have about 15 people in the United States who went to China and then came back with the disease. But it's not being spread all over the place like it is in China, South Korea, Italy. We don't have this situation. There's no reason for the stock market to be crashing right now. And we just better be careful, because you're going to have Mr. Commie, Mr. 1,100-year-old Commie, as president of the United States if the economy tanks. I'm just... That's frightening. That's a frightening possibility. And it's not a remote possibility either. The guy is only 3 points behind Joe Biden in South Carolina right now. 3 points. And the election's on Saturday. He'll probably win. He'll probably win South Carolina. And then he's won 3 out of the first 4, and he essentially tied for the other one. So he's going to have unbelievable momentum going into Super Tuesday, a week from yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Seriously. Unbelievable momentum.
We could be sitting here this time next week.
Yeah, where he's basically the nominee.
Done deal, yeah.
Eesh. He starts sweeping the southern states, and it's over for Biden and everybody else. So we got that going for us.
In all seriousness, then you got to start thinking, all right, who's he going to pick as his vice president? Because that's another person that we're going to have to start thinking about. But again, it's early. So much can happen, and I'm talking about November. And a lot of it on the horizon right now doesn't look good. But you know what? Politics, man, all it is a momentum swing, back and forth, and we have no idea what's going to happen between now and November. So
very true.
Yeah. But right now, hold me.
I know it's frightening. It really is. Let me tell you about Field of Greens from Brickhouse Nutrition. According to Yahoo Finance, the global superfood market will grow by $200 billion by 2023. Experts agree that eating superfood is the easiest way to get nutrient-dense food, and the best part is it's all natural. Most of the time. The trick is finding a product with the best quality ingredients that's not an extract from something, and it has the USDA seal. That's why I trust Field of Greens from Brickhouse Nutrition. One scoop has a full serving of real USDA certified organic fruits and vegetables. It helps with immunity. It reduces your risk of heart disease. It's prebiotic, probiotic, great source of vitamins, minerals, fiber, all kinds of nutrients in this. You don't have to count 80 pills. You just take a scoop, put it into a glass of water, stir it up, and drink it. Go to brickhousepat.com. You'll save 15% off your first order when you use the offer code PAT. Even better, if you sign up for a recurring subscription, you can save an extra 10% every month. Build a better you, one brick at a time. BrickHousePat.com. That's BrickHousePat.com. Offer code PAT.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
All right, the cluster event.
Oh, boy.
Last night.
Yeah.
With everybody screaming over each other.
Wasn't it fun, though?
It was fun.
Time.
Yeah. The last one was kind of fun because they were really nasty. This one was just
aggravating.
Yeah, it really was. And they're all such extremists. I can't. It's hard to take. It's hard to listen to them. I have a really difficult time not just turning the channel and say, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So everybody's arguing on the stage, and Tom Steyer tries to break it up to call for the party to unite to defeat President Trump. Here's what happened.
This conversation shows a huge risk for the Democratic Party. We are looking at a party that has decided that we're either going to support someone who's a democratic socialist or somebody who has a long history of being a Republican. And let me say that I got into this race because I wanted to fight for economic justice, for racial justice, and to make sure we had climate justice for the American people.
Climate justice.
And I am scared.
Oh, he's scared.
If we cannot pull this party together, if we go to one of those extremes, we take a terrible risk of re-electing Donald Trump.
Thank you, Mr. Steyer.
And that is something, I still have some time, and let me just say this. That is a risk that will hurt the American people in a way that none of us on this stage should be willing to risk.
Okay. Ooh.
And that
talking
was,
about climate justice.
Yeah, that was tame, that climate justice answer compared to his town hall. Maybe we'll get to it later. But boy, he is a fearmonger.
No, as long as he's on it, as long as we're on Steyer, let's go ahead and play the. This is Tom Steyer the other night from a town hall on CNN.
I'm 27 years old and I still have buying a house, getting married, and having kids ahead of me. What do you say to people my age and those who are younger who are frankly terrified of what climate change will do to this planet and our futures?
For a second here.
So, Natalie.
That's because of all the propaganda, Puddin'. Okay? Look, I know, sweet cheeks. I know you're terrified. You don't need to be.
There's a Twitter handle waiting right there. Propaganda Puddin'.
What you need to be terrified of is Tom Steyer.
Yeah.
Fear-mongering all the time. Al Gore, fear-mongering all the time. What you need to be terrified of is socialism and communism that is sneaking up on you, and you don't even know what it is. That's what you need to be terrified of, Pumpkin. Okay? You don't need to be terrified of the weather. All right, let's hear the rest of this. Ugh.
So, Natalie, thank you for asking that question. Look, I am the only person running for president who will say that climate is his or her number one priority. The only one. Go ask them. The only one. And I've said that I will declare, just so you know, Natalie, a state of emergency on climate on the first day of my presidency.
There you go.
And I will use the executive emergency powers of the presidency to tell companies how they can generate electricity.
Will you?
What kind of cars they can build on what schedule.
Oh, my gosh.
What kind of buildings we're going to have.
Back off, dude.
How we're going to use our public lands.
Okay.
How the government, which is the biggest buyer of fossil fuels in the world.
This is the guy you need to be afraid of, Natalie. Okay, Puddin'? That's the guy you need to be afraid of right there. He's going to tell American businesses what they can and can't do. Wow. Welcome to totalitarianism.
Yeah. And that's only part one. In fact, he went on for 5 minutes, and I think we only end up using about 2.5, 3 minutes of it. You want to see the rest of this insanity?
Yeah, if I can handle it.
No, you can't.
I don't want to buy the car companies. I'm not talking about taking over the electricity system. I'm talking about saying these are the rules that serve the American people. That's what the government does, Chris.
No, it
isn't. We represent
no, it isn't.
the American people's interest without any compromise, without any conflict. And that's what I'm doing here. We have to deal with this on a crisis basis. But the 2 points I wanted to make were this.
Okay, what do you got?
People are talking a lot. I've been doing this for well over a decade. People are talking about environmental justice.
No,
The reason we've won all these fights, the reasons that I've been successful in climate, is I start with environmental justice.
Oh.
You want to deal with climate, people think it's a science issue. It's a human issue with a huge racial overtone.
What?
The places in this country where people can't breathe without getting asthma, can't drink the water, are black and brown communities.
Pause it for a second. Is that it? That's it?
Mercifully, yes.
Okay, so is the air separate from what we breathe?
Yeah.
In the black and brown communities?
And don't think we haven't talked about this, Mr.
Weird.
Whitey McWhiteface. Mm-hmm. What we do in the white communities,
Yeah.
remember, we've gone over this, we pollute, right?
Yeah.
And then we
And then we
set
blow
up
it
giant fans and blow it into the ghetto.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're not nice people. We're not nice.
And Tom Steyer is...
He's onto us.
He's wise to it.
Tom's onto us. Man, he sees through us like...
That is terrifying.
We're so transparent under his steely gaze. It is terrifying. He's frightening.
And he's well-funded.
Yeah, he's not going to win, though, because nobody likes him. Fortunately, nobody likes him.
Look at that, man.
Wow.
Spending a lot of money. Yeah, I think Tom Steyer is going to finish third in South Carolina for sure.
Yeah, well, he's at 15% in South Carolina.
So right now it's Biden 27, Sanders 23, Steyer 15, and then it's single digits for everyone else.
I love how day one he's going to declare a climate emergency. On a beautiful sunny day on January 20th, he's going to declare a climate emergency. But there's nothing going on.
Is he and Bernie Sanders are of the same mind. The only difference seems that Tom Steyer isn't praising communist dictators.
Yes.
But as far as policy and plans for this country
and oppression, he's the same.
Oh boy.
He's the same, if not worse. That's why none of them can win. These are all really, really bad choices. Wow, that is just frightening. He's going to tell what kind of cars they can buy, what kind of cars they can build, where they get their electricity, how much they can use.
Seriously.
Wow.
Every
really?
4 years, America plays with fire with these presidential elections.
Jeez. And the Democrats just keep getting more and more radical.
Yep.
I mean, they're completely out there in left-wing territory. Jeez.
Well, happy Ash Wednesday, everybody.
Oh, is it today?
That's today.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And
nice.
The nation here is we're close to burning it to the ground if we elect one of the people on stage last night.
Yeah, we can leave
plenty of ash.
We leave the country in nothing but ash.
There you go. See, look.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Pete Buttigieg last night begging for donations.
This was fun. What clip is that?
It's number one.
Grassroots contributions are the lifeblood of my campaign. In fact, I shouldn't miss the opportunity. If you're watching right now and you support my campaign, go to PeteForAmerica.com and chip in. And if you're watching right now and you're a billionaire, I will raise your taxes. But if you'd like to defeat Donald Trump, please go to PeteForAmerica.com and donate the legal maximum of $2,800.
In other words, sign your own death warrant. Billionaires.
How kind of moron do you have to be as a billionaire to vote for any of these people? Seriously.
I don't know. And we have how many clips do we have? We have 22 clips from this stupid debate last night. I don't know that you're gonna want to go through all of them and try to maintain your sanity. But before you bail out, there's a couple of fun clips that I just want to make sure we get to. We don't have to do it now, obviously, but I'm just saying before you, Pat Gray, gets sick and tired of talking about the debate, let's just make sure that we hit those, okay? Just a little, throw that out there.
All right.
Because, boy, that was tough to watch last night.
Yeah, it was.
Because you just feel the country slipping away. Every time, like, Bernie Sanders opens his mouth or Elizabeth Warren lies through her teeth, she's still peddling that pregnancy story. Oh, I was fired. He said, hey, see you later. Have a good day. She keeps doing that.
Yeah, that didn't happen.
No, and I
happen.
was like, wait, that has been debunked.
Play that, in fact. Warren fired because she was pregnant. It's cut 7. Go ahead.
You know, this is personal for me. When I was 21 years old, I got my first job as a special education teacher. I loved that job. And by the end of the first year, I was visibly pregnant. The principal wished me luck and gave my job to someone else. Pregnancy discrimination, you bet. But I was 21 years old. I didn't have a union to protect me, and I didn't have any federal law on my side. So I packed up my stuff and I went home. At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, kill it. The way that Mayor Bloomberg
never
alleged
said that.
to have said to one of his pregnant employees.
I love this. Okay.
People want a chance to hear.
The defender of life, Liz Warren.
People want a chance to hear from the women who
I never said that.
I want to allow the mayor
for the record, if she was a
respond.
teacher in New York City, she would never have had that problem. We treated our teachers the right way, and the unions will tell you exactly that.
But you see how she danced around that? He wished me luck and sent me on my way. And so she's making it sound like she was let go because she was pregnant.
Yeah, which is not the case.
Such a liar. It's been debunked.
They're all liars. They're all pathetic, and they're all ashamed to be. Well, the white people. They're all ashamed to be white. Buttigieg was talking about the 7 white people up on the stage talking about racial justice last night. Cut 3.
Mayor to mayor, you've certainly had your issues with the black community as well. Do you think the New York City's implementation of stop and frisk was racist?
Yes, in effect it was, because it was about profiling people based on their race. And the mayor even said that they disproportionately stopped white people too often and minorities too little. And I'm not here to score points. I come at this with a great deal of humility because we have had a lot of issues, especially when it comes to racial justice and policing in my own community. And I come to this with some humility because I'm conscious of the fact that
put your hand down.
There's 7 white people on this stage talking about racial justice. None of us have the experience, the lived experience of, for example, walking down the street or in a mall and feeling eyes on us, regarding us as dangerous without knowing the first thing about us just because of the color of our skin.
Right.
None of us have the experience that black women have had that drives that maternal mortality gap that we are all rightly horrified by, of going into a doctor and being less likely to have your description of being in pain believed because of your race. Since we don't have the experience, the next best thing we can do is actually listen to those who do.
And none of them have had the experience of being a black woman and being encouraged to kill their baby because 80% of the Planned Parenthood locations are in the black neighborhoods so that they can try to exterminate the black race, which was the goal of the founder of the organization, Margaret Sanger. So he didn't explain that part of it, but I think that part should be explained. 888-900-3393. Also, at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. There's still like 1 million cuts, million clips to play of these absolute communists and morons and totalitarians. In order to choose between these, it's like choosing a firing squad over the electric chair, hanging over the guillotine. Which poison do you want? Because they're all poison. There's not a single moderate among them, even though Amy Klobuchar tries to present, and so does Buttigieg. But neither one of them are moderate. Nowhere near moderate. Okay, so we'll get into the rest of this, as well as chewing the fat, coming up next with Jeffy.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Occam's Electric Razor tweets, I agree that Creepy Joe and Bernie Sanders don't get along well. It's safe to say that they're definitely not butt buddies.
And Neil Smith, an old butt buddy. Are you here, Neil? Neil, I miss you, man.
Neil. Of course you do. He's your butt buddy.
He misses him, too.
Yeah.
Bernie's known Neil Smith, I'll tell you that.
Caucus Card Shark, it was two old guys from the Muppets arguing, only less entertaining. The Steve 42, how many times do I have to tell you the coronavirus is a deep state plot to crush the market or crash it? One of the two. Crash.
Oh, no. Now we do gobble up, gobble down here.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm sure there'll be quite a
Well, China's no
argument.
fan of Trump, right? I mean, they've butt heads a lot. So.
Yeah, they do. But
that's a lot of trouble there.
I've been hearing from the Democrats all week that Vladimir Putin wants Trump to be president.
Does he?
Yeah, of course he does.
I think he wants Bernie Sanders to be president.
No question.
He's going to annex our country after that.
No question.
Russia.
Some tweets that came in after the show yesterday. Putin on a Ritz. Speaking of Putin, a woman plays violin during brain surgery to preserve her violin playing skills. I'm going to be eating donuts and drinking beer during mine because those are skills I don't want to lose.
That's a good
so
video.
Putin on a Ritz has seen the video.
Yeah, we didn't get to it yesterday.
Where the woman is in surgery, brain surgery.
And
they give her a violin to make sure they're not screwing up that part of her brain.
Fascinating and creepy all at the same time.
Watch this. This is really something.
Look at that. They're looking at her brain on a monitor and making sure they're not... And she's playing it. They woke her up in the middle of the surgery.
She looks like she's asleep.
So what if you don't know how to play the violin?
Look at that.
Well, then they're gonna wake you up to make sure you still know how to eat. Like, well, we don't want to take this away from him. It's all he's got. Come on. That is... Anyway, surgeons woke her up.
See Glenn Beck creeping around.
Yeah, what's going on there?
What's going on, Glenn?
I don't know.
What's Glenn? Hello?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's dressed in a suit.
Yeah.
And he looked like he had something to say, but then he just kind of
If you're listening on the
moseyed
podcast,
off.
I hope you're enjoying this musical interlude while the lady is having surgery.
And it's a really weird thing.
It is weird.
And she's laying there with her eyes closed. She looks like she's out.
And she's talking to him, though. There,
and she's playing the violin while they're
man.
operating on her brain.
That is cool but creepy all
Cool.
at the
Very
same
cool.
time. Because she plays for a symphony orchestra. And
they didn't want to mess that part of her brain up.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess they didn't?
Sure. Happy ending. Here we go.
We're going to say yes.
Yeah, she's good.
She
In
played
fact,
better afterwards.
Yeah, I think she's playing tonight. A solo, in fact.
And she's playing the piano now, in addition to the violin.
And she can speak 400 languages.
Yes.
They really did a good job with her brain.
And she's the new star on the soccer team for the Manchester United.
That is unreal.
Yeah, it's incredible. They did a really good job on
They
her.
sure did. What's the
I think I want brain surgery
What's the
now.
bionic man? We'll make him stronger. What's this? Bring him back. Yeah.
We can rebuild him.
There we go. Rebuild.
Make him stronger, faster.
Kangaroo Drew tweets, Jeffy or Weinstein, at least let me eat breakfast first.
Oh, yeah. That was
from yesterday.
That was almost a poll yesterday on Pat Gray Unleashed. Yeah.
Yeah.
The boy's in the hospital. They'll be laughing around. He's struggling.
Is he still in there?
Yes.
Oh,
he's struggling. He's got heart problems. He's got high blood pressure. Don't joke around, man.
Don't joke
this
around.
This trial's taking a lot out of my man.
Yeah. Those trips to Target did too. Yeah.
Where he forgot his walker, so he had to walk perfectly fine and upright.
Well, he's
the whole
supposed to,
time.
after his back surgery, at least try to build some strength. I don't know what you're...
Okay, I see.
Hey, guys, I have complete ADD. I apologize in advance for this. But I just threw out there, oh, look, now she can speak 400 languages. So I decided to Google, how many languages? Do you want to take the over or the under on how many languages exist in the world today?
1,200.
18.
6,500 languages.
Wow.
That is... Now, 2,000 of those have fewer than 1,000 speakers. So even take those out, and you still have
got
4,500.
Yeah, jeez.
Good grief. And I demand, you know what? Go to the Walmart pharmacy today, if you have a prescription to pick up, and demand that they talk to you in whatever language. Just pick a random one of these 6,500 languages, and and they'll get somebody on the phone that can speak that language.
I don't believe it. There's not 4,500 different languages being spoken on this planet. Shut up.
I'm going to post the link.
I'm sorry, I don't believe it.
Two people that talk to each other going, that's a language? No.
Pig Latin is one of them. You know that. You know for sure.
That doesn't count.
Oh, we have a language. You and I, we just speak random words at times here. So, I believe it.
Yeah. All right. 888-900-3393. That happy sound means it's time to chew the fat.
18
with Jeffy.
I'm just happy to be breathing white air. That's all. I'm just happy to be breathing white air today because, man, I do not want to be breathing air.
All that polluted stuff we send the minorities?
Yes.
Yeah. Man.
And I want to be...
That's people.
Right?
You know what they should do is move. If they live next door to us, then we wouldn't be able to poison them.
How do you like our second string air minorities?
Of course, you know what happens. If they move in next door, we move somewhere else.
We move farther.
They can't win those people. Oh, golly.
And I want to be clear, too, that if I was running for office on day one.
Campaigning? You're not going to run anywhere.
Day one, all right? The stairway to Air Force One becomes an escalator.
Oh.
I'm not walking up and down that thing as president. That's
really
day one.
Point.
I am.
Good safety tip.
Thank you.
That's
day one.
I like it.
That's happening.
You're not going to declare a climate emergency?
No, I'm going to be a stair emergency. Where I go becomes escalators. As the CDC warned
Will that also apply to this building?
Yes.
I've been asking for that since the day we got here.
I have legitimately requested one. I've requisitioned one. It didn't work.
No, it doesn't work.
No, it didn't work. So there's that.
So what I did was move downstairs in my office. So
yeah, I don't go upstairs.
No, I don't have to do it. Don't have to worry about it.
You want to come upstairs for a meeting? No.
Nope. No, I don't.
Let's have it down here on the couches.
I'm good. The CDC warned of disruption of everyday life with the spread of the coronavirus. And one of those things is I know Amazon is already deleting third-party listings that are jacking up the price of surgical masks. People are price gouging already, and they are trying to shut it down. I find it pretty amazing, though, that China was saying that they've already had 274 complaints about price gouging and hoarding. It would seem to be a little bit more than that, I would think, in China. Right? I mean, maybe that's only people that were being reported, but they're already investigating in Italy and other European countries of people that are starting to charge a little bit too much money for things. So,
okay,
I'm not a big fan of that. I
price
think if
gouging?
you've got a product, I think if you've got product, the price should be the going rate.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there isn't any price
Free
gouging.
market.
Event pricing across the board.
Absolutely.
Free market.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're going to be, I felt for a minute yesterday, I thought, oh, thank you. I am finally going to be safe with my family, but not until April 7th. Hot Pockets heiress Michelle Janish, sentenced to 5 months in prison as part of Operation Varsity Blues. She got 5 months. She tried to get her kids. Her name is Michelle Janish.
Okay.
The Hot Pockets, her family, I think they sold it already. She's just living off the cash.
What's going to happen to Aunt Becky?
We don't know yet.
We
don't know yet. That's still ongoing. But, I mean, because there's still plenty of people still on the line for Operation Varsity Blues.
Maybe she could star in her own made-for-TV movie about this when it's all said and done.
Maybe.
I mean, that'd be nice if they could. And we lost him. I thought he was going to hang in there for a while, but the world's oldest man passed away this week at 112 years old.
You're still here?
Yeah, well, Guinness doesn't count me.
Why not?
They're just like, he's fine.
They haven't counted his rings yet.
So how old was our man here?
I haven't lost a digit for the rings to be counted. So, CHITETSU Watanabe was 112. Thank you. Thank you. So he was born in 1907.
Usually they're Asian.
Yeah, 1907. The oldest living person.
I don't know if it's their diet or what, but they get older there, it seems like.
And the oldest person still is from Japan, a 117-year-old woman.
Oh, wow.
So, they're still hanging in there, but she's only 117. Hey, please. Who can do a 117 stand on you?
Whippersnapper.
I was watching an old Star Trek last night where Bones showed up on the Next Generation, and he was 137 years old.
Whoa.
in that episode.
Right.
137.
Think of it. Right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that's what we have to look forward to.
I'm not
in
a miracle.
300 years.
I'm not a miracle worker.
Right.
But apparently you are.
Yeah.
137. You're doing great.
Yeah.
I thought I was watching a little bit of this in the debate last night, but apparently no. ABC is now looking for seniors for The Bachelor. We're going to have a Bachelor Seniors edition on ABC.
Kidding me. Nobody wants to see that.
Oh, I disagree.
Nobody wants to see
I disagree.
No.
Are you entering your golden years and looking for romance?
No.
Yes. Active and outgoing single men and women in their golden, new, exciting years? Yes. Yes. ABC have the 65-plus Bachelor edition. I mean, if you give us your goldenest and your grumpiest old men for Seniors Bachelor. I'm looking forward to it. You say nobody wants to see it, but
I don't.
It's a hit, man.
No.
It's a hit. Reminding you to subscribe to Chewing the Fat podcast. Easiest way to do that is go to theblaze.com/podcasts and click on Chewing the Fat. Choose your platform of your choice, like iTunes or Spotify or iHeartRadio. Just hashtag not SoundCloud. And also, I want you to go to.
I don't think they even do it anymore, so we don't have
mean?
to worry about SoundCloud anymore, right?
No, but I believe, and I don't know why this is yet, but it has not been updated. I believe when you click on the show on theblaze.com/podcasts, one of the plethora of platforms that comes up for you to subscribe on is still SoundCloud.
Yeah, don't do that.
That's
Please
what I'm
don't
saying.
do that.
Hashtag not SoundCloud.
Yeah, we don't get any credit for that, and they don't do it anymore.
Yes.
So move on to another platform, if you would.
Yes, please. And I'd like you to go to YouTube and subscribe to my new YouTube channel, Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Yes. So
what's the address?
Nice and easy. The YouTube.com, Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher.
Don't get smart with me. I'm trying to tell you here. So
and today,
YouTube.com/Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher.
I mean, it's YouTube.com channel.
All of that?
Forgot the slash.
It's just that easy. It's that easy. I mean, I don't know why that's so difficult.
Because Judy might be listening, and we have to be very specific.
Okay,
I mean, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
/Chewing the
just
Fat
search for Chewing the Fat with Jeff
Fisher.
Why is that so difficult?
It's not.
Okay.
It's perfect. It's just that easy.
That's fine.
It's just
and I'm going to tell you that both the podcast and the YouTube channel today, free.
Hold on. Hang on a second. How do you spell with?
Today?
There's just too much going on here.
QA. Ow.
HTTP.
I'm still typing it over here, man.
Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher, who does a podcast on the Blaze and a whole bunch of different formats.
Wait. Don't forget the squiggly line. Squiggly line.
Underscore.
Thank you.
I am stupid.
No,
squiggly
you're not
line.
Get the
I'm not done with the. Now you've interrupted the
He's
address.
trying to promote
start again.
your stupid channel, and you're interrupting him in the middle of the address, man.
Just because you think it's a stupid channel doesn't mean stupid is in the address.
Seriously. You better
Thank you, though, for noticing, Keith, what I was trying to do for this guy, and he interrupts me in the middle of it.
to Jeffy's fans, if you do successfully get to his YouTube
you
channel,
can just go to one of my social
it because you'll never get it right
you
twice.
You can just go to one of my social media pages and just click on the link. It's
Yeah.
just that easy.
Yeah.
How about that? You don't have to type in anything.
Is that the link that's so long it has ... and it just keeps going off the page?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. You just have to click on that. You're fine.
Cool.
No problem.
All right.
I don't know what happened, but we might get some news that something kind of shaky is going on over at Disney because Bob Iger stepped down effective immediately.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
Bob Chapek he was the chairman of the parks and experiences and products.
Iger's done a great job.
He certainly has.
He's done the best job since Eisenberg.
He certainly has it. I mean, he's assuming the role, which means that this role means nothing.
Yep.
The executive chairman of Disney.
Oh, okay.
Until the end
he
of
wants to be more
2021.
creative.
Okay.
He wants to get more involved in creative.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'm tired of being the boss of the whole company.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm making way too much money.
And I want it to stop right now.
Yeah.
I want it to stop right now.
Wait.
I don't want to wait.
Nope.
I don't want
Today's
to wait.
it.
That's it.
So on the press release, is also saying he wants to spend more time with his family.
Yeah, as the CEO, just as the chairman, he can just do what he wants. Yeah.
I wonder what the deal is.
I know.
Is there a Me Too thing
I
happening?
don't know.
Or what?
I don't know, but it was.
I mean, you shouldn't speculate on that.
No, well, we are, and that's what we do is read between the lines, especially chewing the fat. But I'm just saying that.
But I like him. He's done a great job.
He sure has. I mean, Disney has succeed tremendously since he's been at the helm.
Beyond anybody's wildest dreams. I mean, they're the biggest kid on the block by far now. Yeah, and so I don't know why you would just all of a sudden effective right now this second.
We're out. I'm out.
Okay. Wow. What happened there? Well, I just want to be more creative. You couldn't be creative as CEO of Disney? Sorry.
No.
You couldn't do what you wanted there?
No.
Okay.
My schedule's too tight. I got too many things going on.
All right, man. Whatever.
I come in. I got no time. I got time
CEO things to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm busy CEOing. I can't do that. As chairman, I got all kinds of time.
Right.
I got nothing but time. Nothing but time as chairman. Coming up next week, too, we're going to have the battle with Tony Romo, the bidding war for Tony Romo broadcasting NFL games because he's been talking to CBS because he's got the exclusive negotiating period now until March.
Oh, he does?
But there's no deal as of right now with CBS.
Oh, he's going to look good.
And they want him on
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, Monday Night Football.
Yeah, ESPN wants him for Monday Night Football. The only difference is like if CBS, let's say CBS gives him what, $8 million, $9 or $10 million, and all he has to do is football. That's a better gig than going to ESPN and having to do all those shows on top of football.
Good point.
What other shows does he have to do?
Well, all those announcers do all those interviews with all the different ESPN shows during the week, and that's kind of, I mean. To actually have to go on another show and talk about promote yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
Thank you. That's hard.
Yeah,
that's hard. So you don't want to do. I mean, ESPN is still they're looking for their deal with the NFL this year too, right? They want to be involved in the Super Bowl, and they want, and that's a couple years away. I think CBS still has.
Does Tony Romo have a YouTube channel? Maybe it's youtube.com/Tony Romo. I used to play quarterback, but now I'm in the booth announcing football games.edu.
Yeah, he might. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't.
.edu.org.
I'll be sure to bookmark it if I can find it later.
So was it 10 million or 15 million that ESPN was talking about?
They're looking at plus 10. I mean,
I thought it was
14.
more than 10 million.
I mean, 14 is the one that I've been seeing a lot.
Yeah.
I mean
that's a nice payday.
It's not
and
bad.
That'd be hard to turn down.
It's not a bad gig.
Of course, 10 million, 14 million, it's a lot of money either way. But so if you have a sweet deal at CBS,
because he's only getting paid right now a little over 3. I don't know how he's living, to be honest with you.
I thought it was more than that.
No, I think I don't even think it's 4 right now. I don't know how he's living, to be honest. I hope his family.
Well, but compared to the best in the business, that's way underpaid for him. Because he is the best in the business.
He is the best in the business, yeah.
The thing he might consider, though, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Are you going to work with somebody the quality of Jim Nantz?
Or not
at ESPN, you're not.
You're going to be stuck with Booger.
Yeah, Booger's going to be out. Booger would be out. But he'd have to work with Joe Tessitore. And Tessitore's, he's okay, but he's no Jim Nantz.
No.
And you're working with the best in the business with Jim Nantz.
And and the world loves it, right? So it might be better off to just maybe stick for, take
for 10 or 11 million.
Right. And stay at CBS.
Stay at CBS.
Yeah. It would look a lot better.
Call me, Tony, and I'll give you some really sound advice.
That's nice of you.
Okay, because I'm sure
we're here for you.
Sure, you're lacking in representation. So just give me a call. All right.
As long as we're talking little sports, I know little league teams from California to Pennsylvania are getting on board, Pat, because they don't want their little league teams named the Astros anymore.
I was wondering about
saw that.
Oh, yeah. No, we can't have that.
Can we stop with this?
We do not want that. What do you mean?
Stop with it.
You don't want your little league team named
cheating?
the Astros. Cheating. Stop it. What? A couple of signs here and there. They do that. They did that forever.
Get out of my face,
my gosh.
Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze Radio Network.
It's true, I am. And I'm glad you're here with us. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. There's just so much to get to today. I mean, just so much. We haven't scratched the surface on the stupid debate last night.
Good.
Still have some tweets from yesterday to catch up on.
The debate was riveting, too.
The debate was riveting.
As a side note, it was. Yeah. I mean, it was just you didn't want to look away.
Well, I did. I wanted to turn away, and yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah, I know that's hard to believe because it was such good stuff.
I know.
It was just too much of a good thing for me, and I felt guilty. I'm just enjoying this too much, and so I can't take it. As soon as Bernie Sanders started answering the first question, pointing his stupid finger,
I know.
I'm like,
yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah, what is that? Where he dangles the left arm on the side,
hate it,
and then points like this. Yeah, that's weird. Do you want some fun stuff? Do you want to hear Amy Klobuchar in clip 16 talking about?
I thought did he just caption that with fun stuff?
Fun stuff.
Yeah, he did.
There's a reference she makes that nobody knows what she's talking about, where she's talking about the deer stand and
all right, let's hear it.
Uncle.
I have the bill. Anyone can check it out to close the boyfriend loophole. Also, to close the Charleston loophole is another bill that's out there. Universal background checks. But let me say how we win this. We've got to win in the middle of the country. And while everyone talks about winning rural areas, suburban areas, I'm the only one up here with the receipts that has actually repeatedly, while being for the assault weapon ban, won in Republican congressional districts over and over again, including Michelle Bachmann's district. So having someone that can lead the ticket, that can bring people with her, is the way you get gun safety legislation. I look at these proposals and say, do they hurt my Uncle Dick in the deer stand? They do not. And so coming from a proud hunting state and still being able to pass this legislation is going to be the key.
She just wants to know if
do they hurt the Uncle Dick in the deer stand?
I mean, what? Do they
As
hurt?
an everyday man out there hunting in the deer stand?
Uncle Dick. You know Uncle Dick.
He's in the deer stand?
He's in the
Uncle
deer
Dick in the deer stand.
Yeah.
Does it affect him?
I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
That's why we need Amy.
Okay. Jeez, that is weird stuff. These are weird people.
They sure are. Every one of them.
Then there's the naked cowboy in every city thing.
I'm a fan. My main man, the naked cowboy, got a mention at the 2020 debates.
How is the naked cowboy your main man?
I love the naked cowboy.
Seriously?
Yeah, let's unpack that. What now?
I love him.
Why?
I just do.
About your man.
The guy in the underwear in Times Square.
with his guitar.
You like him?
Yeah, I like him. He used to come to Florida during the winter sometimes.
He was always in New York when we lived there.
So, yeah, I know.
Okay.
But he'd come to Florida for a vacation. He gets a vacation sometimes. He's not always out there.
Was he at Denver Broncos games, too? You know, the barrel guy?
The barrel guy. Yeah, no, that's not the naked cowboy.
Oh,
you don't know who the naked cowboy is?
Yeah, I know the naked cowboy, yeah. But I'm saying maybe they're one and the same. You ever seen them together at the same time?
Well, here he is being spoken about.
Mayor Bloomberg, as mayor of New York, you declared war on obesity. You banned trans fats from restaurants, and you tried to do the same with large sugary drinks. So if you become president, will you push those policies on the national level as well?
Well, I think what's right for New York City isn't necessarily right for all the other cities. Otherwise, you'd have a naked cowboy in every city. So let's get serious here.
So elect me as president of the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's just saying that New York is a different animal.
Let me tell you this. I'm going to go out on a limb and say the naked cowboy is not right for New York either. He's not right for anybody. Okay, he's not right for New York. He's not right for America.
Wow.
Let's stop with the naked cowboy. By the way, the naked cowboy is not totally naked. Fortunately.
What?
No, he's got underwear on.
Whoa.
He's got tighty whities on wherever he goes.
Yeah.
Don't
and his
ruin
boots.
it for us.
I know, I'm sorry.
He's got his tighty whities and his boots on. Yeah.
That's right.
Huh. I thought the guitar was his clothing.
No.
Actually,
that's a common misperception.
I guess so.
It's
naked
just his
cowboy.
name.
Honestly,
totally
I never
naked.
looked close enough to decide.
Jeffy did.
Yeah, he did.
He told me.
That's his man.
Told me about
cowboy.
it. Yeah.
That's your man, right?
It's his boy. Yeah. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's hear the Elizabeth Warren lie again, where she talks about how she was forced out because she was pregnant.
Oh no!
Listen to this again one more time.
You know, this is personal for me. When I was 21 years old, I got my first job as a special education teacher. I loved that job.
Yeah.
And by the end of the first year, I was visibly pregnant. The principal wished me luck and gave my job to someone else. Pregnancy discrimination, you bet. But I was 21 years old. I didn't have a union to protect me, and I didn't have any federal law on my side. So I packed up my stuff and I went home. At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, "Kill it." The way that Mayor Bloomberg
never
alleged
said
to
that.
have said to one of his pregnant employees. People want a chance
he denies it.
to hear.
Yeah, he denies it.
People want a chance to hear from the women who
I
have
never
worked.
said that.
I want to allow
and
the mayor
for the
an
record, if
opportunity
she
to
was a
respond.
teacher in New York City, she would never have had that problem. We treated our teachers the right way, and the unions will tell you exactly that.
Okay. She was not shown the door.
What?
At the end of the year. Her contract was up, right? Riverdale Board of Education meeting obtained the minutes of the meeting, the Washington Free Beacon, which show that the board voted unanimously on a motion to extend Warren a second-year contract for a 2 days per week teaching job. That job is similar to the one she held the previous year, her first year of teaching. Minutes from the board meeting held 2 months later on June 16th indicate Warren's resignation was accepted with regret. She quit.
Oh, my gosh.
She was not fired. And her contract was up at the end of the first year. They were willing to offer her another contract to do a similar job she was doing. She chose not to. She resigned. Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. And she keeps lying about that over and over and over again.
She might not. Look, she might not recall.
Yeah, she recalls.
Give her the benefit of the doubt. She may
I'm not giving her
recall
the
that.
I'm not giving her the benefit of the doubt. She is a lying
Come on
sack.
now.
Is that bad?
That's horrible.
She keeps doing it over and over and over again.
I mean, that's lying to the face of the American people.
Right.
I mean, just right to your face.
You're spitting in the face of the American people at that point.
But maybe her boss wished her luck, Pat. She didn't really lie. I mean,
That's probably what we'd hear.
Unbelievable.
Terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It is interesting that Bloomberg denies the abortion comment that he told the worker who was pregnant to kill it.
Yeah, because Elizabeth Warren is a champion for life.
Oh,
right.
She loves life.
I mean, we had some big
loves
votes.
babies.
Big votes yesterday.
And Bloomberg
in,
might have been
Congress.
joking. Bloomberg might have been joking. He might deny that he
I doubt
actually
he said
told
that.
the what, are you going to kill it?
Kill it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yesterday, Democrats made it clear that not on the side of life.
Only 3 Senate Democrats vote to protect babies who survive abortion. You've got to be kidding me. 3?
Remember, these are babies who have survived an abortion, and all we're saying is Ben Sass's bill is saying, take care of them. They survived the abortion. Now you have to take care of them.
Make sure that they stay alive now that they're alive. I mean, I don't know how often it happens that babies survive abortions.
Still, so what?
Enough that, I mean, we've seen some of the fruits of the people who have lived and grown into adulthood say, hey, don't kill the aborted babies who survive.
If it saves one life, I thought we were conditioned to believe by the Democrats.
Isn't it worth it?
Isn't it worth it?
If it
It
just saves one life. Yeah. Yep. The body ought to be able to stand 100-0 against that kind of barbarism, according to Ben Sass. He's absolutely right about that. It's inhumane and it's passive infanticide, and the Senate should today condemn and prohibit that practice. Since 3 senators, Democrat senators, voted with the Republicans, it must have passed, though, right? Did it pass?
No. They needed the 60 to.
Oh, they need the 60.
Yeah, the supermajority.
Really?
Closure.
Sucks. Mm-hmm. That is unbelievable. And it shows the death culture.
It sure does.
That the Democrats wallow in.
It shows they care about life, just not this particular life.
Yeah, right. So it failed, 56-41.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got Susan Collins
Wow.
As well. On the left.
it's amazing that that's just a bill you couldn't be for.
Susan Collins was the only Republican to vote no on keeping the baby alive. What is the matter with you? How are you a Republican? How are you? I mean, that's despicable. If you can't support a baby who was born alive receiving medical treatment, I'm sorry. You're just a pathetic person. You're a despicable, pathetic person. Jeez. There's no excuse for that. There's absolutely no excuse for that. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Well, Joe Biden came across something staggering last night in the gun deaths column. I mean, this is this is something we need to deal with, okay? Because this is crazy. These are crazy numbers. We got to get them down. Here he is. Here's Joe Biden, cut 15, talking about how many people are dead because, guns.
Every day in our country, over 100 people die from gun violence. You all have plans, I know, on this stage to address the gun crisis, but Congress has not been able to pass a major gun legislation in a quarter of a century. And just think about this. In those 25 years, we've had Columbine,
don't color the
Newtown,
question, Gail.
Parkland, Las Vegas. We could go on and on. Vice President Biden, I want to start with
Be
you.
a moderator.
Why should anyone have faith that you're the one who can get this done now?
Because I'm the only one that ever got it done. Nationally. I beat the NRA twice. I got assault weapons banned. I got magazines that could not hold more than 10 rounds in them. I got them eliminated, except we had a thing called an election with hanging chads in Florida, and it was not reauthorized. In addition to that, I passed the Brady bill with waiting periods. I led that fight. But my friend to my right and others have, in fact, also given to the gun manufacturers absolute immunity. Imagine if I stood here and said we give immunity to drug companies. We give immunity to tobacco companies. That is caused carnage on our streets. 150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability.
Okay, that's
More
a lot.
than all the wars.
That's a lot.
Including Vietnam.
More than
from that point on. Carnage on our street. And I want to tell you,
So he
if
knows.
I'm elected
He knows the
and
number.
I'm coming
Pause it for a
you
second.
And
He knows the number he just said, and he's standing by it and reinforcing it. 150 million people since 2007 have been killed in this country by guns?
That's a problem.
He's right. That's a problem. Okay.
I mean, that
you got
seems like
me
a
on that
bipartisan
one.
thing
If
that
it's
we could-
150 million dead, you're right. Take the guns. That's more than all the wars.
No, I'm not saying take the guns till 200 million. No.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, 200 million is your number.
I'm not drawing the line there.
My number, if it was 145 million, I could live with it, maybe, but not 150.
No?
I'm drawing the line, and I'm saying take the guns. Yeah. Thank you, Joe, for bringing that information to us, which we didn't know. That is a lot of dead people, man.
I mean, we're almost at 200 million. I gotta tell you, the guns are almost off the streets.
That's in 13 years. More than all the wars in the history of the world. Yeah, that's a lot, Joe. Did you think about that at all before you said it? I don't know. What? He obviously knew what he was saying. He didn't mean 150,000. He meant 150 million because then he uses the war figure.
I mean, look.
How did that happen?
It's crunch time for Joe Biden. Okay, he's like, hear me now, believe me later. Okay,
I can't.
We got to do this 150 million. I need your vote. Okay, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. We'll count the numbers later.
I'm just gonna stick with it. Okay, I'm gonna stick with 150 million. I'm going to say half the people in this nation have been murdered by guns in the last 13 years.
Oh, no.
I'm going to say it. I don't care.
Did you hear that at the debate?
I don't care.
Yeah, Joe Biden said.
Really good.
I heard it. 150 million. Oh, really?
That is unbelievable. Seriously. That is unbelievable. What are you talking about? How does that happen? Seriously, he knew what he was saying. Wow. Okay, so 150 million dead.
Now, what if you add up the guns, tobacco, and drug overdoses? Are you still?
You're still not going to get
right there. Like maybe 149.
No, you're not going to. Not quite going to get there. No.
Huh. So,
adding cancer deaths, you're still not going to quite get
wars?
there. And wars since 2007. Add those two, you're still not there.
We're pushing 147, 148.
No. That is amazing. Wow. What a weird debate that was last night.
Sure was.
So much terrible information, so many lies, so many plans that would just destroy the country. And we're just saying, oh, okay, we can get one of these people and put them up against Donald Trump. Okay, all right. They're always acting like Republicans are so stupid. What are you people listening to? Seriously, listen to what they're saying. They're talking about the destruction of this country.
At least I will say this. At least Barack Obama, their savior, at least would start off with saying something nice about the country.
Or he'd throw it in there somewhere.
Yeah. And then he'd go ahead and, stab
and
it
then
in
he'd
the heart.
bash. Bernie doesn't even bother with that.
Nope.
He doesn't care. He just bashes the country. And holds up communist regimes.
I don't know that any of them said anything good about the U.S.
No, they don't. They don't. They hate this country. It's unbelievable what's going on in the Democrat Party. It's despicable. And seriously, Bernie Sanders is despicable, un-American, and despicable.
Yeah.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Land of the Fleek tweets, this is concerning the woman that was playing violin during her brain surgery. And they had her play, they woke her up during the brain surgery. Said,
Right.
hey, play a little something for us so we know that we're not, taking out that portion of your brain that helps you, that allows you to play violin. I'm no brain surgeon, but shouldn't you be staying completely still while they're poking around in there? It's not rocket science, I guess.
Well, they had her locked in. They had her locked in.
That's great.
Yeah. So what would you, honestly, honest question, what would you want them to wake you up to make sure that they didn't screw up something that you like to do? I can't think of any talent that I have that I want to preserve.
Yeah.
Is there anything? You play the guitar, right?
I do.
You want to wake up so you can play the guitar, they can see your brain and what you're using there. Jeffy, what is your hidden talent?
The question is, what talent do you have that's good enough?
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to sleep through this. There's nothing to preserve. Just just surprise me.
Be happy we're giving you brain surgery, okay?
Right. Putin Under Ritz tweets, there are 6,200 languages in the world. Which one was Joe Biden speaking last night?
Boy, no kidding.
Is there someone who can translate?
Lots of Pat heads are asking,
that's so great.
Are there more languages or more genders in the world? 6,200 languages?
That's it's really close between the two of them.
You got to really break down Joe, too. You got to really, he gets to about a quarter of a thought, and then he moves on to the next thought.
And it's a quarter of that thought, and then another one.
I know, you really have to break it down to figure out what he's trying to tell you.
From Amy What's-Her-Face, imagine if the elderly candidates were all single and went on The Bachelor for seniors.
That's what I was saying.
I'd watch.
Right?
Oh.
I know.
Ever-changing Twitter handle tweets. I would share the link to Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher, but Twitter has a 280-character limit per tweet.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
That's why we had to just we linked up we put the link up on Pat Gray Unleashed. Right?
Yeah, so go to Pat Unleashed on
Pat
Twitter
Unleashed
and just click on that and subscribe.
That's good. Thank you.
And subscribe to Pat Unleashed as well, if you would, please.
They could do that.
Yeah, they can do that.
That's youtube.com/Pat Gray as opposed to youtube.com/squiggly line Jeff Fisher chewing the fat. He does a show, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Right.
And you're not typing ETC, folks. You're actually typing the words, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. That is part of the link. But thank you.
And you can get the podcast anytime on Apple, the iTunes, the iHeart, Stitcher, Spotify, the Google areas, Google Chrome, Google Play, Google dishwashing. I don't know, Google everything. Google.
Oh yeah, they do it all.
Google bed making.
Wow.
The whole show available as we mentioned on YouTube now. So click that bell too and subscribe and do all that stuff. Rate. Everything that you're supposed to do.
Just do it
all.
Whatever you're supposed to do,
just
do it.
Do it.
Would you please? All right. 888-900-3393. We want to play the side by side of Mayor Pete and Barack Obama. He's doing his best Barack Obama impersonation here. Check this out.
The way we do every other election by giving it to the person who got the most votes.
Just a thought.
brings us together. This country was built. And it is a movement reaching into church basements and barber shops, into universities and with our kids.
And if we can light up the neighborhoods and we can light up the city,
shines as a beacon around the world once more.
And this is our chance to answer that call.
That is amazing.
Right?
Has Mayor Pete studied this guy?
Yeah.
And got down his mannerisms
Maybe he's got
and
the same
cliches and affectations?
Or maybe he's been hanging out with Barack Obama. Maybe that's
there's been some talk
Yeah,
that that's
there
the
has.
case.
Yes, there has. And he had some 9-year-old boy come up on stage. He wanted to come out in front of everyone.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And when he
Gave
called him up
all
there,
kinds of credit
when he called
and
him up there,
everything.
I could have sworn I heard Obama. I even rewound it. And
So inappropriate. I'm sorry. I don't want a 9-year-old boy
It is.
coming out with
It is.
any sexuality on this stage. Any at all. You're 9.
And he
Go sit down and shut up, kid.
Without
Go
question.
sit down.
He congratulated
All right.
him and told him he was brave.
Yeah, you're
Yep.
brave and all that stuff. Yeah, without question. But that's not the biggest story from this event when he called the 9-year-old boy. It's when he called him up. The kid's name was Zachary. And he called him and he said, Zachary. He sounded just like Obama.
Did he?
The way he said it. And that, I thought that before that video surfaced, that I hadn't seen that. I was already thinking, man, he sounds like Obama. Anyhow, whatever. Good luck, Pete.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And again, don't be talking about the sexuality of a 9-year-old who doesn't have. Come on, please. You're not any kind of sex. You're not. You don't have any interest. You shouldn't have anything to do with sexuality at 9 years old.
They brought him up on stage, and Mayor Pete isn't going to be the one to say, you know what, kid, go sit down.
Nobody should be.
Care.
Come
It's
on.
okay.
I'm not bringing up a kid to announce
Go
his
play baseball.
homosexuality or heterosexuality.
Right.
I don't want to hear it when you're 9. Come back to me when you're 29. Okay, then you can maybe you can maybe you can tell me about it.
29 is
then.
the line?
At 29, you come back and
Okay.
you tell me all about it.
I didn't realize that was the age.
You like women, you like men. We'll talk about it then. Okay. All right.
Wow, that almost sounded like the Silver Spoon. We'll talk about it then. I don't know. Never mind.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I
What's
don't know
the
what you're
song?
talking
Yeah,
about.
the song is. Oh, come on. We'll get together then. Never mind.
Oh, the Cat's in the Cradle.
Cat's in the Cradle. Thank you very much. It's
And
exactly
the Silver
Harry
Spoon,
Chapin.
Little Boy Blue, and the Man on the Moon.
Right. Well, if
when you're coming home, son, I don't know when.
I didn't realize that
Get
song was
together
about gay.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Well, that's what it felt like, whether you like boys or whether you like girls, we'll talk about it then.
Son,
Keep
we'll have a good time then.
Okay.
If I'm singing that freaking song.
We'll go out and we'll pick up chicks then, son, or guys, whatever your preference is.
Why don't you get off of my health insurance and then you can talk about what sex you're attracted to.
Yeah, exactly. 888-900-3393. We got to talk about this story in Britain. Starbucks trying to raise £100,000 for trans activists.
Oh, good.
Yeah, that's
good.
Yeah, that's good.
Oh, Jeffy likes this story. Keep going.
Activists. I'm a big fan of activists.
Are you?
Oh, man.
Yeah, you like activism in your company?
Get out,
your coffee company?
Get out on the streets and
Yeah,
sell
love it. I love
coffee
it too.
and tell people what you're for.
Yeah, right? Right. Yeah.
Just sell me coffee. What are you doing? Come on.
I know.
So if you buy a cup of coffee in Britain, then money goes toward this organization that is all about helping kids come out and say what gender they are and where they fit on the spectrum there.
Yeah, we'll get into this in a minute because
okay.
we're pretty much out of time here.
Oh, no.
But yeah, this deserves some time.
It's fun.
It's another one of those.
It's a group called Mermaids.
When you come home, son. I don't know when, but we'll talk about it then.
Talk about it then.
We'll talk about your Starbucks experience then. We'll have a good time.
You know why that is?
Then.
Because the Cat's in the Cradle,
right?
And the Silver Spoon.
Oh, Little Boy Blue and the Man on the Moon.
When you're coming home.
900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Oh, that's it, huh?
Wow.
Short and sweet.
Underwhelming. 888-900-3393.
Not the show.
No, just
the show. Just
the introduction of it. Okay. We got some tweets here at Pat Unleashed. Nikita 2020. Is it me or is Gayle King even too underqualified to moderate a middle school class president debate?
Thank you.
Thank you. Ouch. One of the more astute comments of the week there. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it's not just
Yes.
you.
No, it is not just you. No, it is not. She couldn't even get the. I mean,
No.
She
And
didn't even
Nora
know how to
O'Donnell.
wrap it up at the end. It was.
Yeah, did you stick around? Yeah, that
I
should be a
did.
poll.
I did. I
Who
came
stuck
back.
around after 9 o'clock?
And did they do more?
I came back. Oh,
Because I
yes.
was done.
They did.
I'm not coming back.
They did more. They came back. They did more so they could promo where you could watch the rest of their talking about the debate.
Oh wow!
That was it. That was it.
What was the address they gave out? YouTube.com/Jeff Fisher does
I
a
wish
radio
it, I wish
show
it
and a
had been.
podcast.
I
in the
wish it had
morning.
been, but it wasn't. No, that's a little long for Gail.
Yeah. Also from Nate. So Elizabeth Warren just admitted that there's a human being inside the woman and not a clump of cells.
Yeah, she
With
did.
the abortion thing.
Yeah, she did.
At least I didn't say kill it. Well, why? Why didn't you say that? Who cares if
Right?
if it's a clump of cells? If it's a clump of tissue, what do you care? What do you care?
Right.
It's not a human. You know, that might be a Volkswagen Beetle in there. I don't know. It might be a clump of broccoli, Brussels sprouts.
Could be
I don't know what that
Could be
is.
a John Deere tractor. We don't
Right.
know.
We don't know. You might get a free hat with it. It'd be really
Wow,
cool,
that'd be cool.
right?
That would be cool.
You don't want to take that out prematurely. But if it's a clump of cells, who cares?
Wait, hold on. What kind of cap are we talking about? Is that like
A John Deere cap.
It's a mesh
It goes
cap.
with the
and
John
everything?
Deere.
Oh, yeah.
Those are nice.
Oh,
Yeah, they're nice.
okay. Now I'm on board.
From Dick in a Deer Stand. Already. It's already happened. And there will be plenty of dumb gun grabbers parroting Joe's fake numbers in no time. Yeah, how many times are we going to hear the 150 million dead since 2007 from gun violence?
And again,
150 million.
Again, I'm a little ticked at you, Pat, but I mean that's your line.
That is my line.
I'm going to 200.
Yours is a little higher.
Yeah, 200. Then I'm worried.
Call me a gun control freak because I say
Okay.
I'm drawing the line at 150 million people in 13 years. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's too many
are
for
a
me.
gun control
I have
freak.
a weak
That's what I'm
stomach,
calling you now.
So when it comes to 150 million, I'm out.
I mean, I'm doing the math. Obviously, it's Keith math, but we're losing 100,000 Americans a month
Per month, yeah.
That's
a lot. That seems
that's
like
not
a lot.
something to be joking about.
No, it is not. No, you're right.
So how
That's
many
why Pat's out. He's not joking
Look at
around
that.
about it. He's saying
32,000 Americans per day. That's wow.
That's too many.
We got to stop.
That is, if I may just be bold here and say it, that's too many.
I mean, we're losing.
Yes, I'm conservative, and I'm all about the Second
Not
Amendment.
anymore, you're not. Not anymore, you're not.
But when we're losing 32,000 Americans per day
that's when
due
we
to gun violence, I'm out.
That's what we call common ground on issues. You know, when we're losing 1,300 plus Americans every hour.
Right,
it's too many.
I mean,
not for me though.
It's not for Jeffy.
For Pat,
Jeffy's waiting a while.
I am a conservative.
22 Americans every minute.
Every minute.
That's not funny.
No, it's
So I would ask that you stop laughing.
Now you're on his side too with the 150 million?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
22,000 Americans
We're both-
or 20.
We're both saying get the guns.
You
Go
guys-
get
yeah,
the guns.
no kidding. That's
22
exactly what
Americans
you're
every
saying.
minute.
Dang
22. That's not funny.
It's not. It is
I
not.
Every 3
didn't think
seconds.
I'd ever see the day.
Every 3 seconds, an American is dying, and you think that's not enough to draw the line?
No, I don't.
You are
When we
hardcore,
hit
Jeffy.
200 million, then
you're
we'll talk.
okay.
Then I'm out.
All right.
Then I'm out.
I think there are some people, when every single person in this country is dead, then they'll say,
Okay.
Out of my cold dead fingers.
and that's
that'll
when
be
it'll
it.
happen.
Yeah,
It'll be the
that'll be
last
it.
person.
Yeah.
It'll be Charlton Heston, and we'll take the gun away from him.
That's it.
Oh, we
and
got
then we'll turn off the lights.
I'm sorry, we have
and the
breaking
country's
news
over.
on Charlton Heston. Pat, maybe you're not aware.
What's the problem?
He's not feeling well.
Oh, no.
We lost
Is
him.
he?
No, it's over, man. Sorry.
He's already cold and dead?
Yeah, cold and dead.
Ah, dang
Yes,
it.
sir.
All
Sorry.
right. Okay, so he's not saying, out of my cold dead fingers anymore.
No.
Ah, dang it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
888-900-3393. So coffee giant Starbucks is under fire for its new partnership with a transgender ideology activist group. Customers who buy a mermaid-shaped biscuit.
What in the world?
What? A mermaid-shaped biscuit.
Sure.
will see 50p, whatever that is. This is some English story. I don't pretend to understand what 50p is.
Is that pence?
50 pence?
I don't know.
Like Mike Pence?
Oh, wait, hold on. What is
It probably
50
is.
pence
Yeah.
of the £1.89 cost.
Oh, right. I got it.
You
We got
speak
it,
like
man.
like a Brit when you say it.
I mean, you sound like you know exactly
Right?
how they would say.
I
yeah.
do. Don't
50
I?
pence is 65 cents. So what is it? What did they say the 50 pence goes to, if that's what it is?
It goes to the Mermaids organization, with Starbucks aiming to raise £100,000, which would be what, $125,000 or something.
Okay.
Commentator Douglas Murray, who is gay, said he believed Mermaids was sinister.
Good.
Oh.
And suggested parents who objected to its ideology were right to be concerned.
I am so grateful for these
Me
gay
too.
and lesbian outspoken individuals who are standing
All
up to this
kidding
nonsense.
aside, me too.
Yeah.
The lesbian we had on yesterday.
Yeah, I had her on Chewing the
This
Fat.
guy-
Ariel Scarcella.
Did you
yeah,
interview her?
Yeah, we talked to her the other day.
How was she? Was
Chewing.
she good?
was great. Yeah.
I
She was
loved what she
fantastic.
said
She's
on the
finally. She
YouTube
was
thing.
happy to finally say it out loud. She said
so great.
She'd been feeling it for the last couple years, and she really reached her.
I hope you thanked her for us
point.
because
Yes. Oh man,
she's fantastic.
That was great.
Mermaids runs training sessions telling people that being born in the wrong body is a defect which can be medically fixed. At one event, the group showed police officers a gender identity spectrum with a Barbie doll on one end and a G.I. Joe toy on the other. The content was met with derision online. Well, why would you deride this? Come on now.
And why-
Look at that. There, it's a perfectly good chart.
And let's not gloss over the fact that police had to sit there and be indoctrinated into this.
No, look at that. That if you're
It's a
watching on Blaze
perfectly
TV,
good
that is
chart.
a perfectly good chart.
What are you deriding that for?
Wait, what's happening?
That's a good chart.
Darn right it is.
The dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
What?
That is so stupid.
Where on the spectrum might your gender identity be? Are you a Barbie doll, or are you all the way to a G.I. Joe, or are you something in between? Like the yellow guy in the very middle.
I think we're all yellow today.
The yellow guy. What? I don't understand. Like, what's the difference between yellow and brown? There's like 6 places, and they all look the same.
No, they're different
No, they're
colors
different
for one thing.
colors.
Oh, they're different. Oh, they're different.
May
colors.
I point something out here?
Of course.
The Barbie doll as well as the G.I. Joe are both anatomically incorrect. They're smooth. So
They're
there's
smooth?
no anatomy.
The originals,
there. There's no anatomy.
the originals are, but they've developed some newer ones.
Have they that actually have anatomy on them?
Oh, must be the hormones.
Okay.
Yes, they've given the dolls hormones. That's what they've done.
So money raised from the Starbucks sales will go towards spreading more information about transgenderism to young people. That's great. They need to know everything they possibly can
Yes.
about switching genders. I want them to. I want them to become really curious about whether maybe they're in the wrong body. Don't you?
Yes.
And don't
Did
miss-
God make a mistake with me? Maybe I should change.
Yeah. And don't miss that part of the story where the police officers were sitting there listening to this.
And they were not
crap.
happy about it. They were not happy about it.
Were they eating their mermaid biscuit though?
Yeah. And 50 pence, whenever you buy one of those, goes to this nonsense.
The writing in the Telegraph, Douglas Murray said, this is the gay guy who's opposed to the Mermaids organization. I view Mermaids as one of the most sinister charitable organizations in the UK. Wow. He criticized the lobbying that Mermaids puts out to persuade society at large that children who believe or are encouraged to believe that they're in the wrong body should be helped to change sex. The fact that the multinationals like Starbucks can so easily jump on board with that agenda that the Mermaids are pushing is just the latest demonstration of how fast this new orthodoxy is being accepted. Oh, yeah. It is. It's blazing. It's a light speed right
sure
now.
Is.
And
you accept it or you're out.
Right. That's right. I mean, 5 years ago, you couldn't have seen this coming with the transgender thing. I don't think. I think 5 years ago, 2015, was this? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Seems like it's been in the last 2 or 3 years, maybe. And bang, here we are. I was going to say full frontal nudity.
I was going to say, that's a
full frontal nudity.
Interesting choice of words. So full frontal is where we're
full frontal nudity.
I'm a fan of those charts too.
Transgenderism.
I'm a fan of those charts too.
Yeah, I know you are. I know you are. All right. 888-900-3393. We were asking about whether or not, because somebody told us that they went to the Iowa caucuses and they went to an elementary school and they couldn't find a flag in the whole school.
Had to go home and get one.
Had to go home and get one. So we were wondering if there are no flags anymore in kids' schools. We got this from Rusty. My kid still says the pledge at school every day. He's in the first grade. They have flags in the school all over the place. We live in Indiana. Just wanted to share. Okay, well,
that's nice.
That's good news. Yay, good. So Indiana.
So Indiana has them.
All right.
And we get this from Taylor Sansbury.
Okay.
In response to the podcast today where you guys were talking about American flags not being in that school, my wife is actually an elementary school teacher in Utah.
Oh, so she knows. Utah, okay.
And she's one of only 3 teachers that have flags in their rooms from fear of parents being offended.
What?
In Utah?
World?
In Utah? Wow. On top of that, my wife is the only teacher in the school that has her kids say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. In Utah?
In Utah, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
How can that be?
So it's reasonable to assume that many more Iowa schools are without flags.
Yeah, many more schools all
around
over the country. Mm-hmm. I'm sure many of them have flags, but obviously some don't, and increasingly people are worried about offending somebody. Over an American flag? If you're offended by an American flag, get out.
Yes.
Get out.
I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah. We'll all get you. I will all chip in on tickets across the border and help you get to either Canada or Mexico. Get you out of here. Because nobody should have to suffer. Right?
Right.
Yeah. Way too much liberty here. You need to leave. Sorry.
In fact, I'll sell mermaid biscuits. Yes. And then 50 pence goes to your ticket out of here.
I like that. I like
That's
that.
A good plan, man.
I'm willing to give 75 pence, even though I have no idea how much that is. It sounds really good.
Oh, boy. What a country.
I know. It's crazy. 888-900-3393. Oh, good. Chris Matthews apologized to Bernie Sanders because he said something mean about him. Said something mean.
He's been beating him up.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, people have been calling for Chris Matthews to resign over comparing what the fall of France to what's befalling the Democratic Party and nominating Bernie Sanders most likely.
Here's what he had to say because he's doing some backtracking now.
Before getting into tonight's news, I want to say something quite important and personal. As I watched the one-sided results of Saturday's Democratic caucus in Nevada, I reached for an historical analogy and used a bad one. I was wrong to refer to an event from the last days, or actually the first days of World War II. Senator Sanders, I'm sorry for comparing anything from that tragic era in which so many suffered, especially the Jewish people, to an electoral result in which you were the well-deserved winner. This is going to be a hard-fought, heated campaign of ideas. In the days and weeks and months ahead, I will strive to do a better job myself of elevating the political discussion. Congratulations, by the way, to you, Senator Sanders, and to your supporters on a tremendous win down in Nevada.
Please don't fire me.
Wow.
Please stop calling for my firing.
Right. That's what that's about. Wow. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah.
Hat in hand, going to the Bernie Bros.
Exactly, the Bernie Bros.
Please stop. Please don't insist that I be fired because they will. They will. They'll fire me. Please don't. Please. Bernie, it was a well-deserved win. He should have won. I'm glad he won. I hope he wins some more.
I mean, Chris is what, 80 now?
85, I think, 86.
Really?
Yeah. No,
seriously, he's mid-80s?
No!
Hold on.
Are you serious
I think I'm Judy now. Yes, I am Judy now.
No, Judy,
seriously.
he's not 85.
74.
Okay. That's still pretty close.
Really?
That's pretty close. I mean,
he's 112. Is that true?
I would not have believed 112. I did believe mid-80s.
Could we get you into 104? Would you believe that one?
No, I wouldn't believe. Over 100,
how
no.
How old could I have gotten you into? 88?
85 was it.
Hey, really?
85 was it. Seriously. Maybe 88.
Matthews,
you know what? You're right.
85.
Maybe 88.
I could have gotten you to 88.
Yes.
Wish I would have. I wish I would have gotten to 88.
Yeah, don't let it go so quickly.
Really?
88? Yeah. Next time we should.
Okay, but he's 74 still, though. Okay, 74. I mean, Chris, it's okay. You can retire, man.
Seriously, should be there
You can
by
retire.
now, right? Guys made millions for a long
Yes.
time. Don't
Yes.
worry about the Bernie bros.
Yes.
Shut up. Stick to your guns, man.
Yes.
I'm coming to your hat in hand, and I beg you now for my job.
Right.
Please
At
be nice
85,
to
you'd
me.
think he wouldn't bend a knee.
I'm so sorry. I was mean to Bernie, the socialist, communist, commie sympathizer in the race. I'm so sorry. It's pathetic.
It is. It is.
Well,
Really
congratulations, though, to Chris Matthews for helping to provide for this fertile soil for a Bernie Sanders to become the nominee.
That's really true.
Yeah.
That's really true.
And
MSNBC's part in this,
Right.
has
He,
been
like so
despicable.
many others,
Yes.
are reaping what they sow.
It's exactly right. Yes, absolutely true. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Amen.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
At a Bernie rally, this was I hate to even show this.
I know, right?
See if you can guess where this is.
Okay.
Maybe you'll know by the skyline. But take a look at this. Here's Bernie on the campaign trail.
Or the big flag.
Okay. Oh, okay. An American flag.
No, a state flag. There's a state flag.
I
mean,
Helena, Montana.
yes, that's Helena.
Right.
Well, yeah, they built some buildings there since I left.
Wow, it's been a construction boom in Helena.
Yeah.
Why was Helena have the Texas flag?
Because they
there?
love Texas.
I'm analyzing the video.
Look at that, though. Look at that.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's a big crowd in Austin,
Texas.
Texas.
Not a Trump crowd, though.
Austin, Texas.
So I
Not
thought
a Trump crowd.
No, not as big as Trump.
I thought there's a couple ways to look at that. You could say, oh, well, it's Austin, whatever. Big Bernie crowd in Austin. Of course, that's where they all congregate, right there in Austin. But then you're like, but it's Texas, you know?
It's Texas. You should still.
And that's a little concerning. Well, then I see this story. DNC adds Georgia and Texas to battleground target list for 2020 election. They think they have a shot in, if they have a shot in Texas in November.
Of Trump losing to the Democrat,
Right.
whoever it is?
What are they talking about?
Absolutely no.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
I'm just reading the story. It's,
And who is it?
Washington Examiner. And it's just they're just reporting that the DNC. Now maybe it's a head fake by the DNC. And the DNC is just saying, "Oh yeah, we have a shot at Georgia and Texas. We're going to put some resources in there." Either way, the fact that it's a headline just compared when juxtaposed with that shot out of Austin, you're just like,
Okay, if the Democrats take Texas,
oh yeah, we
coronavirus, take me away.
me away.
Just take me away.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go
Let's
because
see.
it's over. Seriously,
see.
if Bernie Sanders wins Texas in the general election, I mean, I don't care if he wins with the Democrats, although he shouldn't in
Right.
Texas. Because Texas Democrats should not be communists.
Now listen to this. This poll. Okay, my goodness. Trump versus Sanders. UT Texas Tribune poll 2 weeks ago. Trump +2.
Mm-hmm.
That's it?
No.
I know it.
Trump versus Sanders.
I know.
Trump +2.
All of those polls, though.
There's
that are
another
coming
poll,
out. Every
Dallas-
poll shows Trump behind the Democrat. Every single one of them.
Okay, well, I'm just
Right?
saying, I'm just reading these recent polls in the last few weeks. Trump +2 against Sanders. Trump and Sanders.
Okay.
Trump +2, Trump +5, Trump +3, Trump +7.
In Texas.
In Texas.
Jeez.
I don't
That's
like that
ridiculous.
at all.
No, I don't either. But
Especially with the wavering
we've seen a lot of
economic
national
situation
polls.
with the coronavirus and the stock market right now. My
Yeah, it's bad.
Goodness.
Well, we've seen a lot of national polls where Buttigieg beats Trump, where Klobuchar beats Trump, and I just don't buy that. It's impossible for those two. I think for any Democrat to beat Trump right now, I just don't believe it.
I will say with all these polls that I'm looking at in the last few weeks out of Texas, Trump versus Sanders, Buttigieg, Klobuchar, Bloomberg, Biden, all of them are within 8 points. Then there's one, there's Buttigieg, 10 points. But all of them typically are within 8, between 3 and 8% lead for Trump. That's too close for comfort.
It is.
I don't like that. Not in Texas.
I think if the economy holds, I think Trump wins handily.
Well,
by more than he did last time, and he wins the popular vote.
Well, according to a tweet from Bernie Sanders, and this was after his great rally that we just showed you in Austin, don't tell @real Donald Trump because he'll get very nervous. We're going to beat him in Texas.
I'm going to beat him in Texas. Don't tell Donald Trump, but we're going to beat him in Texas. Just shut up. I just can't stand him.
There's no way.
I dislike him with all the intensity of a trillion white-hot burning suns.
Whoa, a trillion?
Yeah, it went up to a trillion last night.
Yes. That's,
it went from 10 billion to 1 trillion last night.
How long did it take
last night alone?
into the debate to get to a trillion?
2 minutes.
I was going to say 4.3 seconds flat.
As soon as he started talking, it went from 10 billion to 100 billion and then quickly to 1 trillion.
Was it the first time he did the point
Yes.
like this?
As soon as the hand went up. Oh, Donald Trump. I can't take it. And I turned it. And then I went, okay, I got to watch this. I got to watch. I have to. All right. 888-900-3393. We were talking a couple of days ago about the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, how Donald Trump has changed the face of that court completely. Reorganized
and
it.
many courts around the country. I mean, we're hoping for that to affect as time goes on.
I forget how many judges it is that he's appointed, but it's a lot. It's hundreds, right? It's hundreds.
And McConnell
150
said
million, I think, right
150
now.
million. I think you're right.
150 million judges
I think you're right.
is what he's
And
changed.
McConnell said the biggest thing that the Senate has on their agenda for the rest of this year is to fill all of these vacancies.
That's so
Make
great.
sure that Trump gets his guys.
It's one of the best things they can do. Leave us alone on legislation. Just leave it, okay? I don't care about your stupid legislation. I don't want any, in fact, because it's usually really bad. Just appoint conservative judges, okay? You do that one thing, and you've done your job.
Mm-hmm.
So the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled Monday that the Trump administration can continue stripping federal funding from clinics that offer abortions. Can you believe it?
Nice.
The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals made that ruling?
I mean, it seems like common sense.
Well, it does, yeah. It does. We shouldn't be they should not be federally funded.
Correct.
I mean, it was so bad under Obama. Not only were the abortion clinics, the abortion mills all federally funded, but so were international abortion mills. We're paying for other countries' abortions.
Madness, man.
It's unbelievable. Judge Sandra Ikuda wrote Monday's majority opinion, stating that there is no gag on non-directive abortion counseling. The Department of Health and Human Services followed the decision in June by alerting clinics that it would enforce the administration's ban. Planned Parenthood withdrew from the Title X federal family planning program, thereby foregoing about $60 million a year in August 2019 rather than comply with the decision.
Yeah. So Trump has been doing what he can through executive order when Congress continues to fail.
Right. That's really something. The rules advance President Trump's promise to stop funding businesses that perform abortions, require that organizations that perform abortions and make abortion referrals will have to do so in separate buildings from those that receive Title X federal funds. That's as it should be.
Yes.
And if you're so radical that you don't believe that, I can't help you.
I mean, seriously, the pro-life president.
Pro-life, pro-Israel.
Pro-Israel.
I mean, pro-America. Is there anybody who doesn't believe that Donald Trump is absolutely pro-America? I think he's really proven that.
That's why those people on that stage last night hate him.
Right.
You
because
nailed
listen to them talk about America.
That sums it up.
Compared to how President Trump talks about America.
So true, Jeffy.
And you'll know everything you need to know. All right. We will see you tomorrow here on Pat Gray Unleashed.